Welcome to the Hooch, where the only place more messed up than your hosts is the barracks on a Friday night or the VA. So get ready to stand by for your weekly dose of toilet humor and shenanigans from your fellow veterans, Coy Mack and Michael Grizzled Grunt Harris.
What is going on, beautiful people? We got Coy Mack here and the one, the only Michael Harris. Welcome.
I mean, you can call me anything. Michael, the bro kid, the grizzled grunt, the dude, the bro,
man, bro.
Called so many names. Bro is like the most recent, but grizzled grunt. That's who I originally was. Yes, still am too.
Hello. Although I'm not currently in Texas anymore, but I'm still a Texan at heart.
I'm still here for a little while.
Yeah, I was born in Texas, so I will always be Texan.
Hello, Carol. Hello.
It is a fun week in terms of the news. We've got a lot of different things going on that are dumb and in every way weird. The first one I want to share with you guys is this one I found yesterday, which is hilarious. Dude steals a tractor in Georgia. And could you imagine me, this dude in the restaurant, just watching this one play out?
Damn, is that serious? Gunpoint?
Oh yeah, no, he's running him with that tractor. This is at a Waffle House, by the way. It's such an American thing to have happen.
It's expected at a Waffle House.
Yeah, it's expected.
Yeah.
Dragging this dude out of a tractor.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh no! Oh no! That's basically what you expect out of TikTok.
Is he black?
Is he dead? I mean, I guess that's an honest question for the U.S., isn't it?
Yeah.
In the Waffle House parking lot.
I mean, is he dead? Did you hear any gunshots? Come on.
No. You would have known if he was dead if he got shot.
You would have known. He would have been lit the hell up.
I know, right? But this is good to show like how everything's going. It looks like that's pretty much it. They dragged the dude out, and that's probably. But it's still the point that he stole a tractor of all things. Like, why do you steal a tractor, dude?
He was drunk or high on meth. That looks like a meth town. It looks pretty.
It's a town in Georgia. I mean,
of course. I mean, that must have been the most exciting thing they had going on. Was that
probably maybe? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they had something better to do. Like, they didn't. I think this is in England, which they decided they were going to gather hundreds of freaking golden retrievers together. Which I need a dose of cuteness.
I love that. I would be
to
in
go
heaven.
with the weekend.
Can't hear it. I would be in heaven.
Well, it's fine. It was music anyway. There's no actual sound to it. But it's still, the point is like seeing that many golden retrievers at once is crazy. So they're here celebrating the breed, I guess, is what it was.
That's beautiful.
So they were gathering all together to have this like nice, cute moment in which we could usually have a nice, cute moment in the world, since the world is going to crap. And my next video is just proof of that. Which
imagine if that was like a Chihuahua meeting.
I'd be a lot of tiny little dogs.
There'd be a lot of evilness, a lot of demon rats running around.
Demon rats, God. It's better than this mess right here, which is the politically correct fashion show.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Nice.
Man.
Nice.
This is what our world is coming to.
Yes.
Politically correct fashion shows.
Looks like one of those old school circuses. The freaks.
I know, right? Beautiful in every side. I am not one to judge because I am a very fat man, but still.
The lady with the beard.
The bearded ladies.
The bearded lady.
That's how we do these days. We got to get them bearded ladies out there.
Yeah. That's.
And if it's not the bearded ladies, it's the NPCs.
Oh, you know about that. What? Is that even human? That's my
spicy.
Yeah, it's human. It's a whole thing on Twitter and like TikTok now.
For me, taco. For me,
my God.
Hot dog. Hot.
Delicious.
Hot.
I hate my life so much.
Watching
this stuff.
God.
And it goes on and on and on and on.
Now my question is, did you notice that she was receiving gifts right there?
Yeah.
There are some freaking lonely men in this world if
I
you're going to
do
just
not
sit there
doubt it.
and watch some thing chick on
I know,
camera
right?
and just making noises and feeding her money.
There's another chick that does
You're
like
a
a
weirdo.
yes.
Yeah. I saw a couple after you showed me that video. For some reason, they were just popping up, of course, in
I
my
know,
FYP.
because now I sent it to you, and now you have to
Yes,
see it for
thank
the
you.
rest of your life. You're welcome.
Gift. Thank you. I just not interested. But yeah, it's weird, man. Maybe I ought to try that to see. But I'm not a grifter, so I don't actually get on TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, what would you do? Just like, oh, thank you.
Ooh.
You didn't do
Ooh.
like sexually
It
suggestive
wouldn't even look right.
voices
I'm
or
a
sound like a
middle-aged
little kid.
I'm a middle-aged man. I wouldn't even feel right doing something like that.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
too much of a man, you know.
I'm too masculine. I eat steak and smoke cigars on the weekend.
Well, I don't overdo it. I'm not one of those guys that walk around claiming to be an alpha. I'm not an
I'm
alpha.
an alpha male. You know what an alpha doesn't do? Say he's a fucking alpha.
That's right. I'm a sigma, but I'm not an alpha. There's a big difference, and sigmas are better than alphas.
There's a
anyway.
difference.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's just one of those things of like, this is the world that we're coming to. It's like a bunch of entitled and crazy freaking people.
Mhm. Well,
Yeah.
if imagine the market for it though. If somebody's going to pay you to get up there and just that's all you have to do,
Yeah,
and you're
literally.
getting gifted, do it.
Here, just money.
Yeah, just I got money to waste here. Make another sound. Go chomp, chomp, fart, fart.
Delicious.
Yeah. It's like
Is that what our lives coming to now? Like
Yeah.
for the show, for the Hooch, we're just gonna be like, hey, nummy, ASMR.
whenever,
You know?
whenever I think about the person like gifting her, I think of, remember Blade? Remember the big fat vampire that was just sitting there with his laptop?
I mean, I guess it's a little better than a mukbang, where they just like sit there and eat massive amounts of food in front of people.
Yeah, I don't like those.
I don't get why that's a popular thing in Korea, but it is. It's just like watching people eat. It's like, are you starving enough that you need to like
eat
to
that
watch
much?
other people eat? Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird. I don't know.
Yeah, and those Asian ones where they eat like those big bowl of freaking eggs, and they're just like, and they don't even chew them; they just swallow them.
I don't know if people that actually watch this have ever seen a mukbang before, so let me pull one up.
A what? A what bang?
A mukbang. It's called a mukbang. That's what it's called.
Oh.
It's an actual genre of live streaming that people do.
Oh, it's some weird shit. See, you be watching that weird stuff, dude.
Yeah. So, okay. Here's a perfect example. You're gonna lose faith in humanity. So
I've already lost faith in humanity. Well, how much further can it go?
There you go.
Hey, y'all, I finally did my recipe video on these spicy noodles. Me and my husband are literally about to devour this. But I'm showing you first. You know what I'm saying? So I have
hold on.
Okay, he had to be black. Damn.
I know. I was about to say the same thing.
I know. Jesus
it had to be
Christ.
a fat white chick with a skinny black dude.
It's nothing wrong with being, bigger like that. But, you had to go to the stereotype, really?
I know, right?
The skinny little black guy. Come on, lady.
This is actually something I wanted to talk about this week, and I forgot about it, but we'll bring it up now. So stereotypes exist for a reason, and that is a true example of why that's a stereotype. Is because it happens often enough, it becomes a stereotype. Doesn't mean it's right. It just means it happens often enough that people assume certain things.
Well,
like if you
grape
go
soda.
to a white cookout and there's not enough spices, after many times of going to a white cookout and there not being enough spices, you're going to assume that white people eat all bland food. Okay. If you go to England and you have English food and it's shit, you're going to assume all English food is shit.
It is Gordon Ramsay. But what about the raisins in a potato salad?
Yeah,
that's some white people stuff, right?
That's some white people shit. Right.
If you have grape drink, I'm heading straight for that table with the grape soda. I'm just get me a whole can.
There is a reason that you will never find black people in a submarine, like willingly in a submarine. It's because that's white people shit. Because white people do weird shit, right?
Yeah.
So, like, there's a stereotype for a reason. White people do weird things. Hey, that house is haunted. Maybe we should go in there and check it out. No, that's white people shit. Don't do that.
Did you hear that noise? Let's go investigate.
Exactly. Like, stereotypes can be bad, yes, but they exist for a reason because they often happen often enough for people to recognize the pattern. Okay, so doesn't make it right, doesn't make it true, but it makes it happen enough for it to be a stereotype. Okay, so That being said, let's go back to the stereotype.
Okay.
The dumpling covered
whole thing
in
hers?
the samyang
Oh yeah, she's gonna eat the whole
sauce.
thing.
Okay,
The whole thing.
that was another fail.
You got like dumplings and
dog.
sausage. Wow, we're going all hardcore with the fats there, and noodles. But there's some scrambled eggs in there too.
See, something like that. Something like that is
haven't
what you would
watched
call gluttony.
My How You Can Make It video.
Oh, yeah.
You need to.
You know what I mean? I can get, man, if you're overweight and
Okay,
you're
y'all, I
trying to
finally
eat
did-
healthy, you're trying to do the right thing. But if you sit up here and you scarf down a freaking gallon of freaking noodles, don't complain about your weight. Don't do it.
Yes, Carol, it
that's your
is. It
fault.
is absolutely gross. And there are people. Yeah, Shannon even going to. Yeah, that's gross. Like seriously, like the fact that people like watching this and this in a whole genre of like live streaming things is weird to me. I'm sorry.
Well, that will be good or what? Porn, sort of, you think? Kind of in that realm.
Yeah, a little bit. It's definitely a disorder of some kind. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean,
No, what kind of disorder? I don't know.
it's an eating disorder, and I don't get it. I don't understand how people would get up there and embarrass themselves like that.
I don't know.
Because she probably gets a lot of slack, maybe not, get some slack for her weight. You know what I mean? And she probably sits at home and is complaining about people talking about her weight, and she's complaining.
Right.
But then she gets on camera and does this and then complains. See, people like that, if something happens to you medically, you should think hard about your lifestyle. Like,
Right. You should
that is
really
not healthy.
reassess.
Yeah, reassess the
doing
way
with
you live
life.
your life.
Now, another thing that people should reassess is the writer's strike in Hollywood, because now the artists themselves, the actors, are involved in the strike, because it wasn't enough that the writers struck. The studios were just going to wait them out. Like even Bob Iger of Disney was like, yeah, it's not going to happen. What they want is unrealistic, and we're not going to negotiate with them, basically. It was like, nope, we're not doing it. We're just going to wait it out. So they're like, nah, we're not doing that. And so here is, I didn't know this, but the nanny herself, Fran Drescher, is the SAG union president. You're right. That's what it is.
Really?
Yeah,
I
didn't know this, but she's the union president of SAG. And
It
this is what she had to say.
came with great sadness that we came to this crossroads, but we had no choice.
No choice.
We are the victims here.
We are the
We
victims.
are being victimized by a very greedy entity. I am shocked by the way the people that we have been in business with are treating us. I cannot believe it, quite frankly. How far apart we are on so many things. How they plead poverty, that they're losing money left and right when giving hundreds of millions of dollars to their CEOs. It is disgusting. Shame on them. They
Yeah,
stand
that
on the
sounds
wrong
familiar.
side of history.
Oh, that one too.
at this
We stand on the wrong side of history, right? The socialist talking points, like all of that is steeped in socialist talking points.
Yes.
Right there.
I mean, we were talking earlier backstage about unions.
Yep.
You know, there are people out there that love unions. I'm not a big fan of unions, man, because when you when you have unions do stuff like this.
Yeah.
You know, you probably have guys or gals that are in this writers guild who want to work, who don't want to go on strike.
Yeah.
Right. And they probably mean, man, I need money, man. I can't do this. But because the union as a collective said, this is what we're doing. Now they're out of money. So I just don't agree.
This is what we're doing now.
Yep.
Basically what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things, okay, I will point this out. I mean, make a good point of that. Careful of AI. That's one of the stickling points of the writers and also the actors. So they're trying to get one of those I get, right, where they're trying to say that you can't take somebody's likeness and use it however you want forever indefinitely, right? So they're complaining about them being able to take AI technology, scan their face once, and use it forever, right, against their will. and that you have to give residuals based off of likeness, which I understand, especially with technology increasing and deep fakes and all that stuff. I get that. But them to say that they're not making enough money is absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
To me.
And
Absolutely ridiculous.
It's that old term. Remember, even when we were coming up, man, eventually, everyone's replaceable with technology right now. Everyone, especially if you're in the media, podcasting like us. Imagine if we didn't, there are programs out there. If Coy and I didn't want to sit here and do a live broadcast for you, we can create a whole AI podcast just for you guys with our voice. And it's easy. So these people are replaceable. That's what they have to understand. If these big CEOs in Hollywood said, you know what, we're just going to have, like we were talking earlier, we're just going to have AI write the script for us, and then we'll just go in and fine tune it where we want it.
Yeah.
And then they're saving a buttload of money not having to pay these writers. So they better be careful what they wish for, man.
Too. Yeah, that's the big thing. Like I said, I understand their argument on that. It's the pay thing that really gets me.
Yeah.
Right.
This very moment, the entire business model has been changed by streaming, digital, AI. This is a moment of history. That is a moment of truth. If we don't stand tall right now, we are all going to be in trouble. We are all going to be in jeopardy of being replaced by machines and big business. Who cares more about Wall Street than you and your family? You cannot change the business model as much as it has changed and not expect the contract to change too. We're not going to keep doing incremental changes on a contract that no longer honors what is happening right now with this business model that was foisted upon us. What are we doing? Moving around furniture on the Titanic? It's crazy.
We're all on the Titanic.
So the jig is up, AMPTP. We stand tall. You have to wake up and smell the coffee. We are labor and we stand tall and we demand respect and to be honored for our contribution. You share the wealth because you cannot exist without us. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's why we always say that unions are all inherently socialist, because they always have the same sort of talking point, right?
Yes.
Like if they wouldn't make it about like stuff like that, then most people would probably get on board with you. But the fact that you are going that route, nobody really cares. Like, I'm sorry, to listen to a bunch of well-to-do freaking Hollywood liberals complain that they're not getting paid enough is going to fall on deaf ears. Like, honestly.
Yeah, most people don't care about Hollywood these days, and you see it in the chat. A lot of people don't watch movies. A lot of people don't watch TV. A lot of people, Hollywood is nasty. It's a dirty place. So they're replaceable, like I said earlier. Be careful what you wish for, Fran. Be very careful, because if they'll call your bluff and they'll be like, we don't need them. We don't need them.
Yeah.
We can write a script just like that.
And that's my point too, is like with the writers, like when they went on strike, like I haven't been watching actively like movies and TVs for a couple of years now. I've been reading stuff from overseas at the most part, right? Like a lot of manga and manhwa from like Korea, stuff that actually has like original content. That's cool. Like I'll read that stuff all day long. But even American comic books nowadays suck. All of it sucks, right? The recent Punisher, they cucked the Punisher, like legitimately, like made it where his whole story arc where he was like doing this for his wife, and his wife comes back and like basically tells him to F off and that she was going to divorce him anyway, right? They destroyed his character, right? The whole being of what the Punisher was destroyed because of their writing. So no, excuse me, I don't feel sorry that you're not getting paid enough residuals for your work, because your work in the last 10 years have sucked. You've destroyed every single IP that we have loved since children, and I don't care. I don't care that you're not getting paid enough, because I hope it all burns, and so we can get good stuff again. I'm sorry.
And in Hollywood right now with all these big movies and all this stuff coming out, they're flopping. they're flopping big time because, for one, like you said, people are tired of them changing stuff, adding a woke type of agenda to every movie, every cartoon, every comic book, everything you're watching, every commercial. It's wokeism. You know, and people don't want to see that. You know, I don't want to go to a movie, like you said, or a cartoon or something that I grew up on watching.
Yeah.
And they changed the whole dynamic of the movie. And then I'm disappointed and I just wasted my money. If I see any movie that turns woke and I like the series, I wouldn't go and watch. I'm not watching it.
Look at what happened to The Witcher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Completely destroyed that IP. And it was a good IP, right? It was a good thing. The books are good, the game is good, the show is crap. Okay, because they destroyed it. They absolutely destroyed it and ripped out what that show actually is. Like all we wanted was to see Henry Cavill kill monsters. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally all we wanted the show to be. And like to tell the story of what was going on with Syria and stuff like that. That's all we wanted. And instead they just took a giant dump on it instead and like did their own thing. They wrote expensive fan fiction. That's what I really like to call what's going on in the industry right now is expensive fan fiction. Because anything that they write now, you know it's going to have nothing to do with what you actually like watching and what you want.
Yeah, you have too many activists involved in Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
And their goal isn't to give you a pure movie of, you know, what the fans want to see, because like The Witcher, there's a lot of people that follow that whole series through the comics and through the game. And then they're excited about this movie. They're like, finally, or a TV show, finally. And then they watch it. They're like, what is this?
Yeah,
you know, it's because woke is, because these woke socialists have come in and they're pushing an agenda. That's what they're doing.
And here's a good reason. My exhibit A of why writers do not deserve to have a raise is exclusive. Snow White and the 7 politically correct companions. First pictures of the new live-action remake of Disney's classic show, stand-in princess walking with diverse band of merry men and women after a row over using dwarf actors. Okay, so the reason why this is going to be a thing is because of what Peter Dinklage did, which you would think, being a dwarf himself, that he wouldn't have just crapped all over everybody's hopes and dreams. But this is okay. Let me show you the pictures. These are the pictures coming out of the racially diverse.
They don't look like dwarves.
7. No, there's
one
Snow White, the one dwarf, and the 6 whatever the hell this is.
You got a white chick, a black chick.
They look like they picked up a bunch of homeless people at camp and said, "Hey, you want to be dwarves?"
That's crazy.
Oh man, it's good, man. Like this is the ensemble for the new Snow White. That's what you're looking for, and like this, yeah, this is what you get. Anyway, so here's what Peter Dinklage has.
There's a lot of hypocrisy going on, I gotta say, from being somebody who's a little bit unique, front row seat to some.
Really? Like what? Like what do you see?
Well, you know, it's really progressive to cast literally no offense to anything, but I was a little taken back by the they're very proud to cast a Latino actress as Snow White.
Yeah.
But you're still telling the story of Snow White.
Snow White, yeah.
7 dwarfs.
Sure.
So, look, take a step back and look at what you're doing there.
Yeah.
I know. That makes no sense to me.
But
you're progressive in one way, but you're still making that backward story of 7 dwarves living in a cave. What the are you doing, man? Have I done nothing to advance the cause from my soapbox? I guess I'm not loud enough. I don't know what studio that is, but they were so proud of that, and all love and respect to the actress and to the people who thought they were doing the right thing. But I'm just like, what are you doing?
Yeah, so that's basically what happened, is that he completely just broke Snow White just by that comment alone. And then I think BB's right. The writer's too young to know any better. Yeah, there's a lot of those up to do, like they barely made it through college and got writing jobs that they didn't deserve. They took I think they're going to purge a lot of those in the strike that can't afford it. I think that's what's going to happen. So I agree with that.
they took a creative writing class and now they're writers for Hollywood. But
I took a creative writing class in college too.
Yeah,
but here I am doing a podcast.
Yeah, but that's just another flop. It's just going to be another flop. Little Mermaid flopped. This one flopped. Indiana Jones flopped, and they're just going to continue to flop because, like we said earlier, no one wants to see these woke movies. No matter how popular wokeism is, even people on the left, no matter how much they're into wokeism, at the end of the day, they want to see the original remake.
We wanted to see the original story.
Yeah, no one wants to see all this crap.
Like, I don't know why people thought it was necessary to change people's identities to fit whatever narrative you're trying to spin, right? The reason the stories are the way they are is because they were original stories when they were told, and that's why they are the way they are. I'm sorry it doesn't fit with your alignment of what's good now, but that's what the story was. I'm sorry. A lot of these grim fairy tales that Disney took up were European of origin. I'm sorry. If you want to tell original stories in the same regard, go to the cultures that you want to appropriate, I guess, in your cultural appropriation in that way, and find the stories that you want to tell. You can do that with the people with the same skin color and likeness that you're looking for. But you can't take things that people like and love and then make fan fiction and expect people to like it. I'm sorry. That's why your movies are flops.
For a very small and loud portion of America, and like I said earlier, a lot of those people don't even want to see this crap, but they're loud enough in their activism that they will praise this movie, but deep down inside, they're like, I'm not going to go see that crap, but I am an activist and I stand true to activism.
I don't think people that are activists actually like the movies that they're watching. Oh man, this is so progressive. I'm glad we did this. It's like, no, you're not. You're just doing it because you have to show solidarity, but you in the back of your mind, you don't like this. You don't.
Very true.
Nobody likes it.
True statement. Yeah, nobody.
I think nobody does. But like, here's the thing: is like, Steven Spielberg actually predicted this. He said that it'll crush Hollywood. It was a couple of years ago. He said that there's going to be 5 to 6 movie flops that are large budgets, like we're talking $250 million plus, right? That fail, and it is going to absolutely crush Hollywood. And I think that's what we're getting here. So Hollywood never recovered from the pandemic, right? They shut down for almost 2 years. They finally got back into swing of making things, and now here comes the writer's strike and the actor's strike. Like, like old school Hollywood is dead now because you killed it. I'm sorry, you killed it with your flops and your activism. You've killed Hollywood. Now the independent creators and people elsewhere are going to take up the mantle and going to make money, like we already saw with Sound of Freedom, right?
Yes. And that's been just movies. It's happening in music, it's happening in media, it's happening in movies. It's happening and just all over the place. A lot more of these independent people are coming up and they're staying true to actual film and radio and music, and they're blowing up. And then a lot of the old guard who are trying to change things up, they're flopping all over the place. And they wonder why. Well, you guys suck. Get rid of activism. Stick to music. Stick to movies. Stick to this. No one wants to hear your activism. No, I want to watch your movie. Yeah, I want to watch your movie. I don't care what your thoughts are on the LGBTQRS LMNOP community. I don't care. I don't. No, just make a good movie because I'm paying to see this.
Make it like tell a good story. Like they don't even have the basics down. They can't even tell a coherent story with an actual plot. That's the worst thing about this is like you went to school for writing and you don't even know how to tell an actual story arc, right? Or what the hero's journey is.
That's right.
You're stupid.
And I'm kind of worried about Deadpool. Because this does affect that movie. And do we even know if Deadpool? I mean, Deadpool went woke, the last one, but I wonder how woke they're really gonna go.
I don't think it will be. I think it if they do Deadpool right, then it'll be irrelevant and then be really meta about how stupid Hollywood is now or how they were bought by Disney. That's probably what it'll end up being. But speaking of fake. I got another story I want to bring up. Moving on to the next thing. This came out a while ago, but people are wanting an update to it, but nobody's actually seen this chick. This chick was having a freak out on a plane because apparently the dude that she was sitting next to wasn't real, right?
But I am telling you right now, that mother.
Yeah, ESG is definitely a big
back there
issue
is
with
not
that.
real. Say whatever you want. I'm telling you, I'm getting the off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two but I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can die with them or not. I'm not going to. And there's a reason why I'm getting the
Man, it's so good. Like, dude, like, honestly, like if that was me, like I've seen this movie once or twice. Like I'm gone.
Yeah, I got off with her. And
Getting off the plane.
This happened like 3-4 weeks ago, and there was a lot of theories behind what she saw, and a lizard person, a shapeshifter, and there's just all these theories. I mean, who knows, man? We'll never know because she is.
Yeah, crazy, cuckoo. And there's far more of us normal people than the woke ones. That's absolutely true. And then there's also fake lizard people apparently on planes.
Well, lizard people aren't fake. They're real.
See, I'm not the only one that thinks like, a chick freaks out saying there's a skinwalker on the plane. I'm getting off the plane. I'm sorry.
They exist. They exist.
Like, there's a reason the Uncanny Valley exists. Okay, it's because certain things looked human but weren't human. And if you're walking in the woods in the middle of the night and you hear somebody call your name, run away, get inside, lock the doors, don't open the blinds. Okay, that's what we do.
The first one that happened to, did you see the guy from the UK? The same.
No, I didn't see that.
The plane too. He stands up and is pointing at the guy next to him, saying the same exact thing. He's freaking out. And they're coming up to him like, "Oh, what's going on?" And he's like screaming in British. I don't understand that form of English too much, but
I don't get that dialect of English.
I speak American. I don't speak the Queen's
American
English.
here.
But yeah, it's happening. And I truly believe I'm a conspiracy theorist big time.
Yeah.
I believe in lizard people. I believe in reptilians. I believe those people exist. I truly do. And maybe she saw something, man. I mean, maybe she didn't. Maybe she did. We will never know.
Yeah, that's why I was bringing it up, because like even Elon Musk was like, "Hey, has anybody seen this chick?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's true. Yeah, she was really upset. Unless she was having a really bad trip, like a freak out like that is like, maybe there's something to that. Like, you can take that chance to get on the plane, but if you're getting bad juju, man, get off the plane.
You damn right, get off the plane. I would have got off that plane immediately.
Like, have you ever had one of those moments, right, where you're about to go somewhere and you're like, I'm getting bad juju?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know that feeling, like that sixth sense feeling? You're like, man, shit's about to, bad things are about to happen. I should leave.
That's how I was, when I went to Arizona a couple months ago. I was on that plane. I was just like, man, something don't feel right.
Right.
But I put my mouthpiece in and I took that flight, but I was just like, oh.
Man, I've had those before too, and they're usually right. And like, it's only when the time when you don't listen to it, the bad stuff happens. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It's
Well,
like,
they always say,
you
listen,
know better.
They always say, listen to your gut.
Yeah.
Oh, it's telling you something. Listen to your gut, because it's usually right.
Yeah, you should listen to your sixth sense, right?
Yep, always.
Okay, what do you have to lose if you're wrong? You know what I mean? Like, you wasted your time a little bit of the day. It's either that or you're safe,
But what do you use if you was right?
Right?
Because you're alive.
There's tons of stories of people feeling like, hey, I didn't feel right, and then the train derailed or the plane crashed or whatever. And put X thing in, of people like just barely avoiding a catastrophic fate. So I don't knock the chick for that. I think her freak out was a little much. Like, unless it like legitimately like seeing like plastic fake person lizard dude like sideways eyes freaking blinking.
Maybe. Or people try to say she was drunk and all this, but it comes back to even
she
a flight
did not
attendant.
look
They were
drunk
like,
to
she's
me.
not drunk. She wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
So and she looked pretty, normal. I mean,
yeah, I think, like I said, it's like either she had a really bad trip, like hallucinogenic, but then she wasn't erratic. She was very, I think she saw something that freaked her out, and then she left.
Maybe
she listened to the juju, man.
Yeah, listen to that juju always.
Yeah, it's like if it says go, you go, man. Just listen to it sometimes.
Flight or fight, or fight or flight.
You know who should have listened to his juju?
Who?
Mike Pence.
Oh, this guy.
So if you don't know the story, if you haven't heard it yet, it's going to make you mad. So Mike Pence was on the summit put on by Blaze TV. And he's getting grilled by Tucker Carlson for, about 20 minutes. And towards the end of it, he got him in the worst political F up I've ever seen in my life. Besides like Hillary Clinton. Like this is close up there in political F up.
The United States has become much worse over the past 3 years. Yeah. Drive around. There's not one city that's gotten better in the United States. And it's visible. Our economy has degraded. The suicide rate has jumped. Public filth and disorder and crime have exponentially increased. And yet, your concern isn't the Ukrainians, a country most people can't find on the map, who've received tens of billions of U.S. tax dollars, don't have tanks. I think it's a fair question to ask, like, where's the concern for the United
I thought this was the actual clip, but it's not. Well, great. Now we're going to get hit with a copyright strike. I thought that was the right one.
Yeah, but
I got to get the actual one.
Yeah, while you're looking for it, the only thing that threw me off during that town hall or whatever you want to call it is, you notice Mike Pence didn't make any eye contact during that engagement.
Oh, yeah, no.
He didn't turn, look him in his face. He kept his position. And he was just kind of rocking back and forth, looking out, holding the mic, kind of like a cyborg or something. Maybe he's not real. He's not real.
Yeah, I know, right?
That mother is not real. Something was up with that. I don't know. Mike Pence, he's always rubbed me the wrong way, man. I talked about him on my Grizzle Grunt page, my political page. And back when he had to make the final vote for Trump, with the election fraud. Mm-hmm. And I called Mike Pence a Judas. And I said, I don't trust him. He is a Judas. There's something about him. And everybody was like, oh, no, Mike Pence is a good guy and all this other stuff. No, he's not. No, now, look, right here. It'll show you.
You are distressed that the Ukrainians don't have enough American tanks. Every city in the United States has become much worse over the past 3 years. Yeah. Drive around. There's not one city that's gotten better in the United States. And it's visible. Yeah. Our economy has degraded. The suicide rate has jumped. Public filth and disorder and crime have exponentially increased. Mm-hmm. And yet, your concern is that the Ukrainians, a country most people can't find on a map, who've received tens of billions of U.S. tax dollars, don't have enough tanks. Right. I think it's a fair question to ask, where's the concern for the United States in that?
Well, it's not my concern. Tucker, I've heard that routine from you before, but that's not my concern.
Even Tucker knows he got him.
You are distressed. You are distressed.
Now, like he said it without a slip up. That wasn't a slip of tongue. That wasn't an oops moment. He meant what he said, and he said it with his whole chest. He meant it. Yeah. It's not my concern. America's not my concern.
Yeah, it's poorly placed because if you watch the full clip, he goes in and is saying if you take it in context of what he was trying to say, which he sorely effed up doing, was that Ukraine is not my concern. He should have said it clearer. Ukraine is not my concern. That's what he meant, but that's not what he said. So it's a Freudian slip, right? That's not my concern. Right?
I'm basing off what I heard. That's the way I live my life.
Based off
what I heard was what came out of his mouth, and that's where I'm gonna hold him to. I don't care. I personally don't care if it was a slip. I don't care if he worded it wrong or what he meant. I'm basing it off exactly what he said, and that's up to him to clear it up, and he'll clear it up. Of course, all politicians try to clear stuff up.
They always try to do that,
but he will be held to that moment this whole election coming up. If he makes it,
I'm not trying to defend Mike Pence. I'll say that right now. I'm not trying to defend Mike Pence. I'm just saying that's what the argument's going to be, because I always look at what the other side tries to say. Their argument is going to be this, but he works for the establishment, right? Mm-hmm. He is an establishment candidate if he makes it in the top rungs. He's not, man, after this, I think he was number 4, number 3. He's not even making it in the top 5 now. Mike Pence never had a chance to begin with. So here's the prediction market for the U.S. Who's going to be the nomination, right?
The Don is at top.
So look at this. Donald Trump, obviously, Ron DeSantis, and Vivek Ramaswamy.
I kind of like him.
No, I love Vivek. He's great. I like him. He's 38 years old. Like, he's a young dude. He's in our generation. Great. But he went from where Mike Pence is to number 3. He's in the number 3 spot right now. That's how crazy this whole thing is, right? He's losing out to Youngkin, Tim Scott, and Chris Christie, of all people. Chris effing Christie.
Yeah, that
fat slob from freaking New Jersey is beating you.
Well, you look at Tim Scott. So Tim Scott's not going anywhere either.
No, anything below Vivek is not getting it. That's not happening.
Yeah.
None of these people are getting it.
Well, Tim Scott's done after his last tweet about Ukraine. You know, he tweeted something out about sending more money, more things to Ukraine also. So he already shot himself in the foot.
This is going to be the primary. These 3 right here. And Ron DeSantis is done. His campaign has been floundering for weeks now. They have done everything absolutely wrong they could do in an election. Everything wrong.
Yep. And someone said Trump needs to pick better. What you got to understand is, like, Trump didn't really pick Pence. Yep. Pence was picked by the establishment. So, I mean, on face,
he was supposed to be
like
the reign-in Donald Trump. That's
on face, it looks like Trump picked him. But the establishment, the Republican establishment, wasn't going to back Donald Trump unless they got to really pick as VP. And like Coy said,
unless they got their guy.
It was going to be somebody that can kind of reel him in. So Trump didn't pick him. He was given to Trump. But yeah, you know, Tim Scott's tried. DeSantis, he's going nowhere. DeSantis,
everybody knows DeSantis is done.
Here's the thing with DeSantis is the fact that he thinks that the Trump base will drop Trump and vote for him.
That's never going to happen. Wrong election, honestly. If he would have waited another 4 years, he'd probably be fine. But he messed up his launch. He messed up with the deep fake stuff.
Yep.
Right. And he just continues and then going super hard right on Trump when it comes to the LGBT community, right? He's done absolutely like, not just him, but his communication people, right? And his campaign people have just messed up constantly, and he hasn't gotten rid of them. Like, all of his personnel decisions are wrong.
DeSantis isn't ready, man. Like you said, he should have waited until after 2024. Maybe he would have had a shot. Even if Trump gets knocked out of the election, which I doubt it will happen. Let's go to fantasy world. Trump supporters will vote for Robert Kennedy before they vote for Ron DeSantis. Facts.
That's actually true. Like, I forgot to look up what the prediction market is for the Democrats right now, because like he's actually doing really well in terms of the GOP. So this is what not GOP, but the freaking Dems, right? Here's the Dem field, right? We've got Joe Biden, Gavin Newsom, and then Kennedy in third, right? Kamala Harris and I don't know why Hillary Clinton would even come out of freaking that. She's like 1 cent, but like, yeah, but like literally this is the field if they were going to do that. They don't want Biden, and I think they're going to try to push Newsom, but he's too plastic, honestly. Like, there's no way people do that. Like, Kennedy's going to be their best option if they want to actually win as a Democrat, but I don't think he's going to run as a Democrat in the end. I think if there is an election in 2024, he's going to be running as an independent, and he's going to break the ticket somehow, or he's going to run as somebody's VP.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think, like they did with Bernie, they'll push Kennedy out. They'll do everything, smear campaign. They'll talk about his substance abuse issues. They'll keep bringing that up, because he did have substance abuse issues. So they'll bring that up to try to smear him.
But they'll push him out like a terrible thing to do, though.
Yeah, it will. But they'll push him out like they did Bernie.
Yeah,
Trump will pick him up. Trump's going to be like, and it's going to be one of those, they're going to uniparty. You're going to have a Democrat. The last one to do it was Lincoln, I think.
Yeah.
You're going to have a Democrat vice president and a Republican, I hate parties, but Republican president. So
the first Republican president, you have to say.
A true Republican, a true conservative.
Yeah. So like there's another video I wanted to point out, and like, this is the reason why Vivek is doing so well. It's because of how well he moves around in the media space.
It's pretty scary. So let's just go through the list. Another thing you can't say is that maybe January 6th, while appalling on one level, maybe it was not an insurrection.
So let me talk about. I haven't talked about this much in the campaign. I'll be very honest with you. You want to know what caused January 6th? There's such a temptation to say that there's one man whose name is unspeakable. We can't.
No, first of all, it's QAnon. It's QAnon.
It's QAnon. You want to know what caused January 6th? Is pervasive censorship in this country in the lead up to January 6th. You tell people in this country they cannot speak, that is when they scream. You tell people they cannot scream, that is when they tear things down. And so the reality is, we were told that you could not question where the virus came from when we all knew it came from a lab in Wuhan, which now they admit. We were told that you could not send a private message to someone on the eve of an election that Hunter Biden's laptop story was actually a true story worth considering before an election. You were systematically suppressed. So think about this. You told you had to be locked down, had to take a vaccine that was mandated and forced down your throat, stay locked down in your home while Antifa and BLM roam and burn the streets of this country. So that's the lead up of one full year of telling people you have to shut up, sit down, and do as you're told. And then you tell them, okay, there's an election where you didn't get the information that you needed, such as the Hunter Biden laptop story being real and suppressed. That's what caused January 6th, is a cycle of censorship in this country. And until we look ourselves in the mirror and admit truth on that, we will not move forward as a country. And I think that's the real cause. And we're not, and I'm sorry to say this, Tucker, but I think until we reckon with that reality, I worry that is the beginning of, it's a friendly parley compared to what's to come, unless we step up and...
Yeah. So I'll let you make your point, and I have my theory on that. You can go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
All right, so I tweeted this last night, and I talked about January 6th. And I said, January 6th, I believe was an inside job, like a lot of people. I believe that it was planned. And the reason I say that is that all these people that they arrested, though they were there, they were part of this plan. They arrested these people, threw them in jail, not because they protested. This was a reason to show the American people that if you try to overthrow us, like the Constitution says you can, we can remove you from office. This is what happens. So what they did, January 6th happened. It was planned. However, they got the people to go in there. They got them to go in there. They arrested all these people. Now, a lot of Americans be like, man, I'm not protesting, the government. They're going to come after me and throw me in jail. That's just
we've seen that happen. Like people are like, you had agent provocateurs on the ground. We had feds on the ground that were instigating the riot, right? Ray Epps.
Make sure no feds are outside my window.
Ray Epps is one of the main key players that instigated the riot and the breaking of the barriers, right? We see him on video, clear as day, him instructing somebody to tear down the barriers. And the day before, he was saying we need to go into the Capitol multiple times. He was inciting the riot, and he was never charged. At least up until now. He's claiming he's going to get charged.
Yeah.
Right. He's claiming he is in a lawsuit against Fox. That he's going to get charged.
Well,
but I mean,
I don't trust
you can arrest and charge agents just to throw off suspicion. They do it all the time, right? When they're doing stings and they do undercover operations, they will arrest their agents and let them go later.
Yeah,
which is probably what'll end up happening.
And they'll disappear, like when they were questioning Director Ray.
Yeah,
and they asked him a direct question: did you have any agents on the ground on January 6th?
Right.
And he was like, I can't talk about that.
No. It's even worse than that. He's like, well, I have to look and see when we deployed agents. He changed the nature of the question.
That's right.
Not, it wasn't when you put agents there. Were there agents in the crowd already when it was happening? Not when you deployed clothed officers, right? Or agents to go help out. When were your assets and human sources in the crowd? And how many were there? That's the question.
Yeah,
and he completely ignored it.
And like it was said that this is just bad things to come.
Yeah.
If Americans are scared to protest when the government is not working in their favor, you have a tyrannical government. We have that now. They're doing it through media. They're doing it through protests. They're doing it in all many ways to where American citizens, they're listening to our phone calls, listen to this podcast. They are scared to say what they really want to say out of the fear of getting thrown in a cell somewhere.
That's true. And there's a lot of people that still feel that way. Is what he's saying. Is that there were a lot of people that were disenfranchised that day, and they still haven't answered for that. And there's still people locked up in solitary confinement because of
That's
that
right.
thing, without a charge
got a
of
buddy
trial,
there.
which is completely unconstitutional. But they're still doing it.
We have a buddy there.
But I mean, then we have this stupid nut job.
Oh, yeah.
When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and
Wait, take that back?
clean water.
Take that back again. Take
When
that
we
back.
invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of
Huh?
Yeah.
Did she just say
and
what we've
reduce
been talking about?
Reduce population.
and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water.
Yep. So they're saying the quiet parts out loud these days, man.
Oh my God.
Like, they're telling you straight to your face what their plan is every single time.
Dude, they've been telling us for years. We talked about this before. Look at the Georgia Guidestones before they got torn down. Right there in stone on the Georgia Guidestones, they said we need to reduce the world's population to 500 million. This has always been their plan. And she's telling us straight up to our face, we got to reduce the population. How are you going to do that? Well, through what? mRNA. They know that's how they're going to do it.
We can do it through a lot of options.
Yeah,
And then the
there's a lot of ways.
last resort is the nuclear war option, which isn't too far off either. So we'll see that. But I mean, it's like, these are the people that you have in charge. Like, before we head out of here for the night, I want to share this last bit of funness with everybody. Is the president of the United States cannot help himself from being freaking creepy every single time. The kid is terrified.
Look at that.
Absolutely terrified.
So why are the parents allowing it?
I don't know.
You
Why
know,
would you, okay, with his history of touching and sniffing kids, why would you let your kid near Joe Biden?
And the thing is, okay, to those parents and that child, Joe Biden is a stranger, right?
Yeah.
No matter if he's the president.
That's not your granddaughter.
He's still a stranger. Would you just allow anybody to go up to your little girl or little boy and do that?
It's freaking weird.
It's creepy. It's very creepy. And then people, the people on the left would be like, "Oh, he's just a nice old man. You're making fun of,
Well,
elderly
still, thanks for showing
people.
up. I appreciate it.
You're making fun of elderly people and all this stuff." So he gets a pass for doing this creepy stuff. But if I did it, let somebody catch me on camera doing something like that. My face would be all over TikTok, Twitter, all over the place. They'd be ready to destroy my whole life. But this creep can do it, though.
No, that's absolutely true, dude. Like, because this is the thing, like, especially with the Pride Month thing and all the different, like, people showing their genitalia to kids on the streets. Like, dude, any other context, the cops would come and arrest you immediately. Like, if you went to a playground and just started, like, dancing around on a pole, showing your junk to kids with a full hard on, I'm sorry, you're going to jail, dude.
That's right.
But, like, these cops just watch them do it in the streets with these
because
kids.
They're given the order not to do anything. They're told not to do anything because, most human nature, man, human nature for civilized men and women, civilized.
Yep.
If you saw something like that, human nature would tell you that that is freaking wrong and I got to do something about it. Right. But if your job is on the line and they tell you you will not do anything or X, Y, and Z, you're going to sit there and take it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the world we live in.
It is nuts. Like I said, I think maybe we should just go find some land, buy enough of it, and then just start like villages there, like-minded community, and have our own militia, and just like, this is our zone, and we'll do whatever we want, just like the Amish. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's what we do.
So yeah, I remember that video, Locherman. Yeah, I shared that a while ago. It was this kid who was hitting angel notes. And a lot more people are hearing ringing in ears, but that's going to be on another topic, bruh.
You'll have to bring that up. You have to send that to me and we'll bring it up next week.
Yeah, I got to find it. It's in my phone somewhere. I'll send it to you.
Like you said, it's like there are good things in the world, there are bad things in the world, and it's like I keep seeing all the bad, and it's really hard. Like ever since COVID and all this stuff, it's like it's never been the same. Like something broke, and then we're just kind of watching the ride, right?
CERN.
Yeah, CERN. That's another one.
CERN had a lot to do with it. And you know what? A lot of people don't understand. There's no black. There's no white. I mean, there's no gay. There's no straight. That's all just that's a freaking a show right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's only two forces in the world: good and evil. You're either one of those. You know, so people got to stop getting wrapped around all this other crazy stuff that are causing this divide in this country, and start focusing on those two forces. Which side are you on? Are you on the evil side or you're on the good side? And light always wins, man, at the end of the day. So this darkness that's over our country right now and over the world, at the end of the day, light always wins. So, and it sucks because we're sitting here, we're sucking right now. We're seeing the world go to crap, and we want to do something, but we all understand that we're very limited to what we can do. So all we can do is share the truth, voice our opinion, get the information out there, and get people to start thinking, man. That's the thing. You have to get inside there because a lot of people got a lock on their brain. They're stuck in a freaking matrix. Once you unplug them from it, they start seeing the light and become good. I'm just saying.
No, that's a good way to leave off the show. Those are good last words for the day. Well, we're here every Sunday at 6. You can find us and you can follow us at the Hooch. Again, want to thank everybody for coming out and watching us tonight. If you want to save some money on some games, you can go to instagaming.com using our referral code in the description below. Save yourself some money and throw a couple of bucks our way. It'd be great. So, like, I use it all the time. It's amazing. I love saving on games. Don't pay full price for games, just like movies. Like, don't pay full price for movies. You know, save yourself some money.
So play. You can watch all the movies for free. Yeah. So play.
Just if you can get it for free, you should, because like nothing's worth. Most things are worth paying for these days because they're all garbage. But
yeah, don't forget tomorrow is of course the Savage Patriots,
right? Which you will find us there as well.
Yep, we'll be there tomorrow, doing our thing. Look out for my cooking. I'm in the middle of it right now. I had to take a break for the podcast.
I just got done cooking a nice New York strip steak tonight, so I'm pretty happy.
I'm making African, so I'm making a tajin, a kara, and an obid torres, something like that. It's like and couscous, so it's like 4 different things.
I love couscous. It's underrated. I should get some more of it.
Couscous is delicious.
But I appreciate it. Anyway, that'll be it for us this week in America. We'll see you next week at 6, and then you can catch us tomorrow night at the Savage Patriots. We love you, America. And we
are out.
According to your Facebook page, we aren't friends.